So children, in our previous class or in our previous lesson, we have come to know that how we can be different from others. It can be in terms of our looks, it can be in terms of our language, religion, culture, it can be in terms of our drawing, handwriting. So there are different ways in which we are different from others. Now come to page number 4. You can just see one column is there. Fill out the following information about yourself. This is about your choice. This is about your habit. When I go out, I like wearing. If it is the question asked to me, my answer will be jeans and t-shirt. Now your answer might be something else. At home I speak in Bengali. You might speak in Hindi or in English. My favorite sport is, if it is asked to me, I will say kabaddi. You can write basketball ball or cricket or football, anything. I like reading books about, I will write suspense, thrillers, detective stories or fairy tales. Now ask your teacher to help you check how many of you have similar matches, how many of you have similar answers. Until and unless the person who is sitting beside me is copying from my work, the answers will never match exactly. Some differences definitely will be there. Is there anyone whose list matches yours exactly? Some will match. Might be the dress I like to wear, it might match with somebody, or the storybooks which I like to read, it might match with somebody. But exactly everything will never match. Okay. But many of you may have similar answers. Yes, similar answers will also be there. Like for example, the language we speak or the favorite sport. How many like reading the same kind of books? How many different languages are spoken by the students in your class? So one thing we have to remember that we cannot be different from others in all ways. That means in all different ways. That means it is not possible that I will not have any sort of similarities with others. Similarly, on the other hand, it is also not possible that I will just have all the similarities exactly like somebody. So there will be differences, there will be similarities. It is not possible that I will have all the dissimilarities, or I will not have anything, or I will not like anything which will not match with others. And on the other hand, it is also not possible that my everything, my looks, my get up, my habits, my admirable things, my habits, everything will match with another person. It is also not possible. 100% similarities, 100% dissimilarities, both of these are not possible. So by now you must have recognized that many ways in which you are quite like some of your classmates and other ways in which you are different from them. Making friends. Do you think it would be easy for you to make friends with someone who was very different from you? Read the following story and think about this. I had meant it as a joke made up for a small ragged boy who sold newspapers at the Janapath crossing at the busy intersection. So here the speaker is saying about a boy who might be, whose habit was, not habit actually, his profession was to sell newspapers at the Janapath crossing at the busy intersection. And he is addressing him as small ragged. That means the boy was not quite aged, he was quite young, and moreover ragged. Ragged means might be his dress was torn or untidy, or might be as he had to pass the most of his time on road. That's why might be he looked quite shabby or untidy. Okay. Every time I cycled past, he would run after me, holding out the English paper and screaming out the evening's headlines in a mixture of Hindi and English words. So every time this boy used to follow this speaker, holding the English newspaper in his hand and uttering the evening's headlines in a mixture of Hindi and English. This time I stopped by the pavement and asked for the Hindi paper. His mouth fell open. So one day what this speaker had done, he had just stopped by the pavement, that means the sidewalk or the footpath, and he asked for the Hindi paper. Now this boy who was selling the newspaper, he became quite amazed, surprised. That's why it is written that his mouth fell open. You mean you know Hindi? He was quite astonished. You know Hindi? He asked. Of course, I said as I paid for the paper. Yes, I know. Is there any problem in knowing Hindi? He paused. That means he stopped. But you look so Angrez. So why was the boy was astonished? Because the speaker, he looked somewhat like an Angrez. That's why he can read Hindi. He said, you mean you can even read Hindi? He was still insisting to know. He was having some sort of, what to say, he was not able to believe his own ears that this person, he can read Hindi, because every day he used to run after him taking one English newspaper in his hand, because the person looked somewhat like that Angrez. Now this Angrez is saying that I know Hindi. That's why he has become in some sort of this bewilderment. He has become quite surprised. Of course I can, I said this time, a little impatiently. If I know something, still then you are showing your, what to say, you are becoming quite suspicious in my knowing. You are going on asking me the same thing, then definitely it will make me angry. Yeah, the speaker has also become quite angry. Not angry actually, impatient. I can speak, read and write Hindi. Any problem is there? I can speak Hindi, I can read Hindi, I can write Hindi. Hindi is one of the subjects I study in school, because Hindi is one of the subjects I study in school. Subjects, he asked. How could I explain what a subject was to someone who had never been to school? So this term subject was quite foreign to this boy who used to sell newspapers, because he had never gone to school. So how he will know what is the meaning of this term subject? Well, it is something, I began, but the lights changed and the honking behind me grew 100-fold, and I let myself be pushed along with the rest of the traffic. So the speaker, he was trying to explain this boy who asked the meaning of subject, but at that time the signal, it turned green, and there was such huge noise behind that speaker that he could not stand over there to make this boy understand the meaning of subjects, and he had to move forward. 100-fold means that so much huge noise was there, this honking of the cars and other vehicles. The next day he was there again, smiling at me and holding a Hindi paper. Now the boy has come to know that there is a person who looked like Angrez but was able to read Hindi. That's why he was standing there holding the Hindi newspaper, not the English anymore. Bhaiya, he said, आपका अकबर, आप बताइए ये subject क्या चीज़ है? So he insisted in knowing that what is the meaning of subject. Take this newspaper and let me know from you the meaning of subject. The English word sounded strange on his tongue. It sounded like its other meaning in English, to be ruled by someone else. So generally we know the subject means the books which we study, history, geography, English, maths, these are all subjects. And another meaning is also there of subjects in English. That means the person who is ruled over by a king or a queen or by somebody. So the boy asked the word, the meaning of this word subject, or he uttered the word subject in such manner that for this listener it meant like the other meaning of subject, which is to be ruled by someone else. So give a tick mark over here. And if you are having any query, question, anything, you can ask me. Children, kindly follow one thing. If you are having any question, any doubt, you just wait. When I will complete my lesson and when I will give you the time every day or in every class, I give you 5 minutes to ask your questions. At that time, whatever queries, whatever doubts you are having, you will ask me. Because while teaching, every time I am not looking at the screen, no. So if you are asking any question, it is possible that I may miss it. Like for example, here, somebody whose name is not written here, only MD is written. Sir, what is meaning of hundredfold? I have said, that means huge, something in large quantity, something is something in huge manner. It is addressed as hundredfold. At least here, it means hundredfold. Such huge noise was there behind the speaker. He addressed it as hundredfold. Nishi, you kindly see the meaning or the word. Sir, what is the meaning of strane? Where from you have got this word? I don't know. Strane, strainy or strangey, what it is, I don't know. From where you have got it? Kindly check it better. Sorry, and then ask. Anything else, children? Are you having any query, doubt, problem, anything? Just feel free to ask. And every day after I have completed, you will ask. Okay? Don't ask me anything while I am explaining. Because at that time, as I said, I have to look at the camera. I have to look at the board. Every time I will not look at the screen. No. So I may miss your query. Sir, what is the difference between pronouncing subjects and subjects we study? You didn't understand that boy, his mother tongue might be Hindi. So when the boy was uttering the word subject, at that time, for this listener, about whom we are reading, for this listener, it is sounding like that he does not want to know the meaning of subject means books. But the word he uttered in such manner, which for him, this is only for the listener, not for others, that for the listener it sounded like the other meaning of subject, which is somebody who is ruled over by another person. Generally, the people who live under a king or a queen, under the rule of a king or queen, they are known as subjects. It is said like this, that the people who are living under the rule of any king or queen, they are known as subjects. That means ruled over. Meaning of strange. What is meaning of strange? Nilabjo, strange. Something unusual. It is really something horrible for me that you are asking the meaning of strange. That also in class 6, strange. Something which is unusual, which is not normal, definitely not abnormal, but which is not usual. Something unusual, sounded strange in his tongue. Okay, children, so read this portion properly at home.